Welcome to Shawneegrows, where I encourage you all to learn as you grow. On this episode of this wonderful live stream on this Saturday night, what if you had to grow your own food to survive? During the Great Depression, families relied on hardy, nutrient-dense crops to make it through those tough times. Many of these forgotten foods could be lifesavers again today in 2025. Join me as we uncover 25 of these crops that kept people fed when the times were hard. They offer valuable nutrition, self-sufficiency, food security, beating inflation. Let's learn from history and grow for the future. We will go seed shopping as well. Can we buy these forgotten crops in today's seed market? And let's review some recipes because I really like having a plan, if you haven't noticed, of I'm going to plant this seed to produce this crop to then do this with. Now, it doesn't always have to work that way, but to have like this general outline of purpose kind of gives you more of a push for success, I think, right? So we're going to try and look at recipes, and I always want to hear from you guys. You have wonderful knowledge that you should share with the world. Maybe it's your ancestors' stories. You maybe have personal experience with these types of things. And I don't want to forget my team replay. Hey, do you have any family stories or traditions about crops grown during hard times? Please share them in the comments on the replay. Also, one of these crops was actually banned at one point, but people kept growing it in secret. Stay tuned till the end of our live stream to find out which one and why. Don't spoil it if you know. Keep it a secret until the end. Let's see who's with us in the chat. At the top, I am going to Storms, Radios, and Cats. I'll just off to the side, rocking out to Rush. Creative Redundancy. Hello, YouTube veteran Shawnee. Good to see you, CR and Barry. Secret Plants. Shh, yes. Storms is talking about Neil Peart's drumming just brings it all together no matter what they are playing. He will always be a legend. Mobius981 made it to the live. Hey, good evening, fellow gardeners. It is good to see you. Duncan, 1900 Homestead. Welcome to our Saturday night conversation. DLR 978. Hey everyone, first time chatting here. What a difference selecting all notifications makes, especially when it actually works and you get it and you click it and you're available at that time. It's a wonderful thing. I do try to make sure the live chat replay is available on the when it posts the next day. It's just sometimes loading. And so if you come back to watch the replay and you're not seeing live chat, come back in a couple hours. It processes and then it's available so you can read what the folks are saying that are with us live when you're in the replay, right? It's good to see everyone for this fantastic conversation. Mobius says to Storms, hi, first time to this live, but I promise I am all about bringing the old lost ways forward. We cannot lose them in generations. We need to keep talking about these things, right? Miss Sharon is with us. Hello, hello. How's your weather? Some of us are in ice storm land. I just have rain at the moment, but I've been hearing stories about power outages, and then I did see there's a severe situation that could be brewing. Is it tomorrow? Sunday and Monday, I think, are the 2 days. So be weather aware out there, right? Mike's Chaotic Gardening. I've tried all but the nuts. Are you referring to our poll we have going tonight? The question is, have you ever grown or tasted any of these? Would you try them in your garden? Comment below. So we have sorghum, Jerusalem artichokes, chicory, and ground nuts in our poll. So as you come in, hit the thumbs up, share our stream out if you like hanging out with us, and answer the poll if you feel like it. Back to the chat to see Dave Knight. Excuse me. Hello, hello, hello to you. How are you doing with your weather? Mobius says, I want to get bare root hazelnuts for this year. Hope to hear any nut suggestions. Are they same as filberts? Let's find out as we go. I really want to grow hazelnuts too, but I think they get ginormous, and I'm not sure I have the space for ginormous mature tree. I like in the semi-dwarf shopping category, but I think I can grow hazelnuts here. I am in zone 4B5A in Minnesota. So that's exciting. Mushroom Mark, aloha. He's with us as long as he can. He's probably listening as he works on projects. Hopefully, Jay Dixon, good day to all from Huron County, Midwestern Ontario, Canada, in the lee of Lake Huron. Welcome to this. Gandalf, I see you. Hey. Thanks for coming to hang out. Listen to me talk about gardening and growing. Oh, what do we got? You're working on tasks. I love when we multitask and do things on the side. That's good. That's good. We have food forest, permaculture, sunny and warm. No way. Usually it's raining over there, I feel like. Greetings. It is so good to see you here. Okay, rain and storms on the way, but we need the rain. Yes, Miss Sharon, that's right. We talked about this yesterday. If you haven't watched the replay on our conversation last night, put it in your watch later. Yes, DLR. Food Forest Permaculture has the best greeting, I know. And Gandalf has never tasted any of the 4 options in our poll. We have 55 and thunderstorms for Dave Knight. Jay is expecting 2 storms to hit in the next 3 days. Band of continuous rain, freeze, snow, depending on your location. There were places that it was like 1 inch of ice coming. Expect power outages kind of stuff. CR is still in zone cold still. Google says ground nuts are peanuts. Let's find out. Maybe they are. I know Mike and I have talked about growing peanuts before, so if anyone wants to chime in on that in the chat, we'd gladly listen. Mobius says 5B. I heard there are actually hazelnut bushes. That's what I need then. Oops, I bumped the mic. Sorry. I've been shopping around a couple of nurseries, and I've had success with their plants. And I usually go shopping in April. So I think, based on the way I feel right now, we're going to add hazelnut bushes to the shopping list and see if we can figure it out. American Filbert says, Howie. Heavy rain for Mike, 33 degrees. I still have 36 degrees, it's saying on that. And this one is saying, is that saying the same thing? Yeah, it is 36 here. And I don't think we're going to get any ice where I'm at, but there it changes as you go, right? So Mobius has a question for food forest permaculture. So are the filberts also known as hazelnut bushes? The filberts might be the ground nuts. I'm not sure though. You guys can clarify with each other as we look at some photos from growing food in the Great Depression. We're going to get into the crops list and we're going to chat along the way. I have lots of different things to show, and it's going to take some time to get them organized and up on the screen, so bear with me. And we have had internet connection problems the last 2 times I was live. So I will try to monitor if you can see or hear me as we go. So the pictures slideshow here for the beginning is Miss Marion, we are seeing on the screen, stands among rows of strawberry plants in her home vegetable garden, which she planted in, I think it's called Cache County, Utah. A man and a woman plowing garden rows into the side yard of their home where the area receives full sun, good for growing vegetables, photographed around 1935. So I know they're not going to be the greatest quality. But it's even fun to see their outfits, their tools, the home, all of it, right? The front, back, and side yards of this home have been turned into food-producing vegetable gardens, photographed in California, 1938. Jay Dixon says Hazelbert, zone 3A, cross between hazelnut, Corylus americana, and filbert, Corylus of... Oh, really? Duncan says, I planted hazelnuts and the rabbits ate them off to the ground? Okay, so protection should be... Because I have a rabbit at the offsite garden. Mobius says, I'm looking on Etsy, but if anyone else has some bare root suggestions, let me know, okay? CR is going to see 15 tonight. Howie says, perhaps, but filberts are elongated. Eating highly recommended, says CR. Mobius says to Howie, right, more research needed. Sigh. Research is great. What do you mean, sigh? I won't order bare root for another couple of weeks at least. That's right. South Florida Sunshine Tropicals. Hey, everybody. We are looking at old photos. That's right. It's fun to see all the things that happened. It's like traveling and time. Get your notebooks ready or your phone, however you write notes to yourself. It is good to see you, Carol. Okay, next photo. Two women weed pepper and tomato plants in a home vegetable garden in Georgia, 1938. That's a lot. That is a lot. Right? A woman hoeing a row of onions in her home garden in, I don't know how to say this, Scioto Furnace, Ohio, 1938. She's growing some good looking onions, eh? A man and a woman harvesting beets on their farm in Kansas, 1939. Women inspect tomato plants in a home garden in Georgia, 1938. Corn and young squash plants are growing behind them, if you can see that. Looking at gardens in black and white is a whole different thing, isn't it? Let's see what we have here. A woman stakes tomato plants in her large garden home, 1935. Notice the trellis method she's using. DLR 978. Does anyone here garden in long rows? I don't. I'm too eclectic for long, neat rows. Good question, KP Heathen. I see you walking in. Good to have you here. Carol says to CR, my little onion area is growing larger because of you. Just keep adding my cast off rhododendrons in my raised bed. Yeah, it needs color. I know, it's such a different thing to see the garden in black and white. I hear you. Okay, let's see what we got growing on here. Check that out. Mrs. Calvin Brown harvesting squash with her grandson on their farm near Eaton, Colorado in 1930s. So name that squash, everybody. Can you see it? I bet you Howie knows. DLR, it's like watching the beginning of The Wizard of Oz. Miss Sharon is everywhere, and she's so fantastic at helping all the good channels out. We appreciate her very much. Okay, what do we got going on here? A bumper harvest of acorn squash is being put into baskets, probably intended to supply both the roadside stand behind it and to be transported closer into town to a local farmer's market for sale. Photographed in 1935. CR says the squash is heavy. Mobius says no rows here. Have to fit things where I can. New favorite experiment is grow bags. I also don't do singular monocropping in long rows. I like market style and companion planting and a little bit of chaos, right? And you made it. Good morning, everyone. It is 5 a.m. So if she comes in and out, that's okay. 5 a.m. is very early. Carol says to DLR, only did rows when I started and stopped garden over 11 years ago. I'm eclectic too. Yes, everyone, welcome. And in Duncan says, when I was a kid, we always put up a good 3,000 quarts of food. Let me say that again. We always put up a good 3,000 quarts of food, a 50-gallon crock of sauerkraut, plus freezers full of food. It took a lot of food to feed 10 kids. That's right. Mobius, I would love to have some of those baskets. Baskets are one of those things that gardeners collect, right? Like just like containers and pots and stuff. Let's see if I have any more. Okay. Yeah, right? DLR, 3,000 quarts of food. Wowza. Exactly. So now that we've gone in time, I'm going to go to the list. Now, some of these you've heard of, I guarantee it, and some of these I would say maybe I will surprise you with at least one that you've never heard of. I really hope. Maybe some of you have heard of all 25 and the bonus one. We'll see. So this crop's name is rutabaga. It is a root. I have a picture of it here. Like I said, the format is we're going to look at it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to go shopping for it, and we're going to talk about recipes with it is the goal here. Rutabaga root, more vitamin C than oranges. Storage life 4 to 6 months in the right conditions. They grow in poor soil. You can boil, mash, or cube and roast. So what I want to hear from you is grow it or forget it. Mike, I like it in stews. Mobius is saying to DLR, but they were living through the Depression. It was already pretty awful. DLR, I've had rutabaga. It's not a popular one, also known as swede. So here is the seed from Rainbow Seeds. This is a Canada seed company. So you can get the seed and grow it in 2025. But then when I went to True Leaf Market and typed in rutabaga seeds, this is what it's showing me. Right? So when I read it, it says also known as yellow turnip and neep, rutabaga is a root vegetable that is said to originate in Sweden or Russia in 1620. Leaves can be eaten, but the root is by far the most popular part of the vegetable. It can be baked, roasted, or boiled. It can even be eaten fresh and put in salads or sliced very thin. Usually mixing them with carrots and potatoes. Annual crop. It started off as a cross between cabbage and turnip. Rutabagas are popular in Scandinavian dishes. I'm pretty sure this is not a rutabaga. I thought this was a turnip. So I don't know why it's like this. You know what I mean? So here is one of those recipes, mashed rutabaga with sour cream and dill. This one is called roasted rutabaga with rosemary and onions. And there we got to have the photo of what is it? What are we eating? We got to eat with our eyes, right? So how do we feel about rutabaga? And yes, I got confused when doing the seed shopping. So I'm pretty sure you guys are talking about that in the chat. Let me clear up my tab bar because we're going to be looking at many more things and I can't have all that open. Come back to me. I clicked you and you ran away. It jumped when I touched it. There we go. Temp range for growing rutabaga. Is that what we're asking? And then, like, how many days till germination? Was that said? They thrive in cool temperatures between 50 Fahrenheit, 70 Fahrenheit, 10 to 21 Celsius. If you get them growing in high heat, like over 80 or 27 Celsius, it's bitter. So rutabagas typically take 80 to 120 days to mature. So would you plant it in the spring and harvest it in the summer when it's hot? Probably not. You would plant it in the summer and harvest it in the fall so it gets kissed by the frost. Is that the goal here, everybody? South Florida sunshine. I have my grandparents' huge pickle stoneware pot. It's it sadly is pretty degraded. Imagine the vinegar or ferment got into the cracks. They had 11 kids during the Great Depression. Mobius, I bet rutabaga would be a great addition. It's firm potato. It's like a firm potato and stews, says Mike. Jay says rutabaga is commonly grown by big producers in my area, cheap to buy. I don't even know if they sell it at the store. I mean, maybe like for 1 month out of the whole year. DLR says to CR, rutabaga is a brassica, so it's usually a fall crop planted in summer. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it wasn't the same. Okay, sorry I showed that and confused. Good thing you guys know, because I was like, this says that can't be right. Yeah, they are different crops. Thank you, everybody, for confirming my question. The turnips smell like farts, says Carol. Can't get past that, and cauliflower. Brussels sprouts are as far as I go. There is a gnat chasing me, so that's why I keep doing weird things in my hand. Roasting them, but I roast most root crops, right? That's what they're for, huh? No idea what is rutabaga, says Anne. Never heard of it. Miss Sharon is not a fan. Carol says to Jay, my mom never made us because, oh, I have to just die, capture and destroy you. Stop doing something right now, Nat. They took too long to prepare. How do they taste? I never baked one. Mobius says the DLR, as you know, Great Depression started about 1930 and 31, and that's why people were into growing their own, although family farms were a lot more common. Yeah, and then so after that, we went into the whole wartime victory garden. We did a whole live stream talking about victory gardens, survival gardens. We looked at fun pictures. We talked about crop lists. Check that out on one of our past live streams. I just saw Jay gnat catching. Looks like sign language poetry. My goodness. DLR says to Anne, it's also known as swede, a brassica root similar to turnip. It's okay tasting. Good in chicken soup. Jay says to Carol, rutabagas have a slightly bitter, less sweet flavor when raw, similar to a carrot, but when cooked, they become sweeter and taste similar to a rich, savory potato. Jack Beanstalk, how's it going? Good to see you. Welcome to this. Carol says family farms were very common back then. Mobius thought it started the end of the 20s too. Farmers went bankrupt right before the Depression. Howie's still with us. Jay says roasted rutabaga tasted similar to sweet potato. What? I don't think that's in comparison for my flavor palette. Maybe. I don't know. Mobius said, Carol, right. They lived closer to the land. Don't get me started on the urban food mess, though. Carol says, oh, I may have tried them raw then. Dave Knight, I still have some of my grandparents' tools and equipment used in the 30s. It came with the place. That's amazing. Adam called me a murderer. And I love cauliflower, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts. I think you either love them or you don't want them at all. I don't want them at all. DLR says when you buy them at the grocery store, they're covered in wax. Oh, what? They must be peeled off? I don't even think I see them at my farmer's market, and that's a bummer because, of course, people at the farmer's market, they just want to sell what people are going to buy and make a buck. But why can't we have can we have one farmer that grows unique, fun stuff so everyone can try weird food? Who's going to be that person? Mobius says before the FDA and USDA, people in cities, immigrants, tenements had unregulated, nasty food. People on farms, although perhaps impoverished, had better food. I was gonna say improvised, and that's not what it was. Okay, so that was number one. Now, number two, I got to pull up all the info from my sheet here, so I'll put that on the screen while I load this up. Who knows what that is? Mangle wurzel root. You ever heard of it? I have a couple links to share. It's a giant beet. Has anyone had it? I think there's different kinds like there is with any seed. Copy. Okay, that's it for that one. Oh my goodness, I'm just looking at this picture. Okay, that's the same link. That's a yellow one. Maybe I'll show this picture first and then I'll talk about it. We're not super in a hurry, right guys? Okay, mango wurzel root, giant beet, big as 20 pounds each. Families and livestock can eat them. So the thing I hear about them is grown for your animals to eat, and then you eat your animals, right? Stored for months, high sugar content when baked or added to soups. This is what I'm seeing for the mango beet seed situation. 100 days to maturity, full sun, ideal temperature 50 to 85 Fahrenheit, frost hardy, yes. Oh, there isn't another picture on that one. This is Homesteaders of America growing picture. It's a feed crop is what I'm gathering out of it. And then here's what the yellow one looked like. This is from the seed collection. Mango wurzel yellow Eckendorf, used as a fodder crop. Standard seed packet of 30 seeds is $1.50, but it's sold out actually on this one. And so you can see information. I'm pretty sure what I did was in the description, I shared the link to where you could get the seed and some articles. But then for recipes, I was going to try and share as we looked them up. But I'm probably not going to have recipes exactly for every single crop, and I apologize for that. Let's see. Where does it start? Is this where it starts? Oh, chat, come on. I clicked you and you ran away. There we go. Carol says, I'm missing my dad's cultivating hoe. It snapped and I'm hoping my husband did not pitch it. So yes, 30s or 40s. I still have a straight cultivator from then, but it was my favorite. DLR 978. The farmers at market don't grow them because people don't enjoy eating them. They can usually be found at grocery stores in the area, though. Yeah, and then it's like, where was that grown, or how many trucks did that ride on, and how long has it been sitting there, right? Now I get it's a storage crop. It can sit for however many months we talked about. Adam's going to hang as long as he can. Early riser, 4 a.m. Yeah, your body needs that sleep, so you can always catch the replay. J. Dixon, giant beetless. Barry, throws mouse in trash, piece of junk. DLR 978. I think it's used for animal feed. I've heard of it, never seen it or grown it, though. Me neither. I've never grown it. Mobius, just hanging out with garden peeps. And Jay says to Barry, thrown away protein? Wireless mouse is what we're referring to. Anne's like, gee whiz, how do you pull that out? I know. Very slowly and carefully. Ooh, a backhoe, says Mobius. Now we're talking. Everyone should have a backhoe, right? And must be you gonna break your back if you pull it. Barry says, and was it gassed before shipped to the grocery store? Oh, I know. Jay says we have rutabagas almost in every store all the time. Wow, that's so different than my situation here. So that was the mango wurzel root, the giant beet, mostly grown to feed your animals. Next is salsify, which is a root vegetable. It seems to be a common theme with these forgotten crops lists, right? Now, this is one where I was like, I've never heard of that. What is this, right? So here's a photo. What are our thoughts? So oyster plant that grows on land, stores well in ground, up to 6 months, eat roots and greens. Perennial in zone 6 to 9, can be grown as an annual. It's 100 to 130 days. Black salsify is a 17th century European heirloom grown, harvested and prepped in the kitchen, much like more familiar root vegetables, also known by dozens of names, including Spanish salsify, black oyster plant, or just scorzonera. Blackroot salsify is an exotic substitute for more traditional parsnips and carrots. I have never heard of this. Be right back. The wind is picking up outside. CR, did I answer your question? For whatever that one was for? I thought I was trying to read the temp and days to maturity. So if I've missed it, bring back the name and which one you want to ask about. Mobius, I have salsify growing wild. Wow, I've never heard of it. Yes, please be careful, Brenda. Greens can be used in salads. Wow. Is there more pictures? No, it's the seed packet. This is from True Leaf Market. DLR, I have tried and failed to grow salsify, but I'll try it again. Yeah, it would die here in the winter. It'd be an annual, and to have it 100 to 130 days, I'd have to start it inside. Looks like cassava, says Carol. I had to identify salsify with my phone app, shaking my head, and then I was like, well, I'll leave you to it. Salsify. Oh, am I saying it wrong? Ooh, I love when you guys give me how to say it. Salsify. Okay. Are we eating tree roots now? It does look like a tree root, doesn't it? J. Dixon, salsify, also known as the oyster plant, typically takes 100 to 120 days to reach harvest size after planting, with roots ready to harvest from late fall through early winter. Carol says, stay safe, Brenda. Sorry I missed a few minutes. Needed to help with our pup. Mobius says, salsify, pretty plant with yellow flowers and nice seed heads. It is a perennial. Salsify, also known as... Did I read that one? I might have read that one. It goes wild for Howie, too. Do you use it, you guys, that have wild grown situations? So this is the recipe I have saved here. Delicious black salsify with toasted almonds, honey, and black pepper. And so, wow, that doesn't look... Would you want to eat that? Let's see. It's a delicate but delicious sweet flavor with a firm texture. Some chefs compare it to slightly sweet taste of oysters or even artichokes. Celery root, maybe parsnip. It's expensive. Oh, wow, there's a big picture of it. I just can't imagine digging that out of the ground in my clay soil. Wow. There's another picture of it. Wear gloves when peeling the dirty vegetable because the skin is sticky and hard to wash off your hands. Keep it in water with lemon to ensure the stalks don't turn brown immediately after peeling. Make sure you wash it after you peel. It goes good with chicken, pheasant, or duck. Or cheek? Oh, beef cheek. Okay. Okay, that stock or water can be exchanged for this. So, yeah, that's how we do that. I said the same thing in my brain, Carol. Oh, here, it showed the growing temperatures. Okay, let's go back. Okay, salsify, also known as vegetable oyster, requires cool weather with long growing season, 120 to 150 days to mature, with optimal soil temperatures for germination around 50 to 75 Fahrenheit or 10 to 24 Celsius. There we go. Everybody got that? Thank you for that. I was beginning to think I was weird. Up to what zone, says Howie? The perennial, what was it, 6 to 9? It's too hot where you live, Carol. DLR says to Mobius, if you ever collect seeds, please save some for me. Okay, that's between them. Howie says Springbank clover grows wild here as well and has a tasty root. We're zone 8 here, Carol, and have those cooler temps for many months, right? Carol says to Anne, I have a video on the cassava. DLR, to grow it, treat it as you would a carrot. The seeds even look similar? Okay. So yeah, it's 6 to 9 was the perennial, but it can grow as an annual outside of that in what temp? So Carol, you'd have to figure out, it's always the opposite of us, right? Yeah, I don't think the website shows the actual seed. An exotic substitute for traditional parsnips and carrots with unique oyster-like flavor and black skin. It's the packet. It's not showing me the actual. Hey, how's it going? We're discussing some forgotten crops. We haven't gotten very far because there's a lot to talk about. We're just going to keep going. So far we did the rutabaga, the mangle wurzel root, the giant beet, salsa fee, and this next one is pretty common. Let me gather my links. We have the Jerusalem artichoke. I think the thing that people want to know is how to prepare it more than how to grow it. So put your questions in the chat because we have some experienced Jerusalem artichoke growers here with us. It's a root perennial that multiplies. You dig it up when you need it, as you need it. Can cause gas pains. The trick is to ferment them, I keep hearing, to make it so it doesn't have that in it so much. So I'm not an expert on it at all. I've never had it or grown it. So let's see what everybody says in the chat. Mobius is talking about salsa fee here at 5B. CR asked the wonderful question of temp range and days to harvest. I hope we covered that for you. DLR got the salsa fee seeds on eBay. Oh. I forget that's a thing, to be honest with you. Adam says, I got an orange canna lily start from my neighbor tonight. Heck yeah. Tomorrow I'm giving her a start of my red El Presidente. That's fantastic. We are moving on to fartichokes. That's right. Sunchoke is very, very easy to grow. Try to stop it. No way. I finally started some again last year. Hopefully Howie talks about the experience he has too with it. Jerusalem artichokes, aka sunchokes. I suppose I should put this up. What am I doing? Just talking. I love them pot roasted. Okay. Yeah, tell us how you prepare them. So it's a tuber that grows in the ground, and the flower looks like a sunflower style that comes out at the top that gets pretty tall. It can be grown as a windbreak or a privacy fence. And then, yeah, understand that these little guys underneath multiply and spread. It looks similar to ginger, says Anne's Place. Carol says to Adam, cool, have 6 corms and no idea the color, but the cultivar is the edible one, survival crop. 1 pound bag for $14 in the US for the Farm on Central place. And I've ordered from them before. I ordered Comfrey. So it's a fantastic website. It thrives across climates, zone 3 to 9, hardy perennial. The 1 pound of seed tubers is 15 to 20 pieces. They're from Vermont. They're very persistent. Okay, you can grow them in a container. You can use them for animal feed. You harvest the tubers in late fall. Nutty flavor. You can overwinter in the soil and spring dig them up for sweeter roots. Okay. Here's the flower picture. Isn't that pretty? There we go. Okay. We got somebody leaving. Howie says, heading to sleep at the top of the hour as I'm doing a 5K hike to the store tomorrow and will need my sleep. That's right. You need your sleep. Will you have a live stream panel tonight, Shawneegrows? I'm not going to have anybody up on the panel tonight, but we have the option to do that for tomorrow's live stream. I am going to go live tomorrow, and it's not going to be an educational format. It's going to be a hangout, games, chit chat format. So I will share the link tomorrow to come up on panel, but not tonight. I just want to get through the material. That was a good question. And have a good night, and I hope to hear about your hike. DLR says pot roasted and meat drippings at around 400. Here's the lacto-fermented pickled sunchokes. Jay says, bizarre, but true. A friend was paid to research Jerusalem artichoke for years at university after graduation. That sounds like a fun job. Miss Sharon says, Howie, rest well and be safe. Yes. It's like a starch in a roast, Carol says the DLR. DLR says, do it. It's an awesome crop above ground. It looks like Maximilian sunflower. I want to grow stuff we eat. So, yeah, it's fun to meet new people. It's fun to see new faces here in the chat. It's a great crop for animals is what we're hearing. Totally the flavor is similar to parsnip. Going to the beach barbecue today, Anne says, wow. Howie says, all good because you have the powered by StreamYard logo on your live, and that's why I asked. Yes, right. I do use StreamYard a lot. Thank you. It's a good question. Serena, welcome. Jay Dixon, sunchoke planting tip, plant in a distant solo bed or control with raised bed that has firm control. So here is the recipe for that. It's sunchokes, filtered water, salt, pickling salt, cloves of garlic, dried red pepper flakes, optional if you like it hot, and it gives the instructions. Let's see here. I believe it is where they get inulin from the prebiotic. And it's going to be great. I love to put my feet in ocean water. Oh, you're looking forward to that? Not the barbecue food. Howie says it's easy to hide your sunchokes by pulling out the old stem and bloom. Yeah, and then just know where it is in the ground. And then when you need it, you go and dig it up, but nobody else knows it's there, right? The hidden treasures in the food forest. Another planting tip from Jay, plant in north bed, it grows tall. Mobius says to Carol, that's it, inulin, that's where I've heard of it. Anti-diabetic, IIRC. Okay, so winter radish is our next crop. This is pretty familiar, I want to say, for at least what I see. Like it's in a cover crop mix. So we're going to talk about this next. Once I get my links up. Okay. Move this down. Winter radish root, daikon, large size, sliced or shredded, cooked. The greens can be cooked. So I'm not a huge radish eater, but it's a wonderful way to have it loosen up compacted soil for you. So we have different types. So this one's daikon for sure. 45 days. Originated in the Mediterranean. Roots are large, 2 to 4 inches in diameter and 6 to 20 inches long. Let's see here. Radishes are usually grown in the cool weather. What does this say? I don't know what that is. This is showing the other type of radish, not the winter radish. This looks like a winter radish. This is an icicle type from Germany. 35 days to harvest. This doesn't tell me anything else either. So put out your tips in the chat. How you want to eat them. This is another one that I see fermented or pickled for sure. And I've heard people of cooking them. Oh, I'm trying to get this to show and it doesn't load. Because it jumped. I'm getting back to it. Hold on. Insulin is for diabetics, but not sure. Just know it feeds probiotic cultures, good for your gut microbiome. Inulin, soluble dietary fiber, a prebiotic found in many plants, particularly chicory root, and acts as a food source for beneficial gut bacteria, potentially improving digestive health. Howie says plant sunchokes on the outside of the property so you have private time. Serena, I planted daikon radish yesterday and some seeds fell out of the envelope onto the ground. Only caught 4 to plant. Whoa, you're going to have a surprise. Mobius says to Jay and Carol, thanks. I got ahead of myself, I think. You love radishes, Barry. Wow. You almost need to be a chef to use sunchokes. Yeah, that's what I hear. You have to really know what you're doing with them. Jane River Homestead, I'm waiting for my asparagus to come up. I haven't seen my asparagus up. I went to the offsite garden today. I saw a little bit of tulip. I saw a little bit of garlic. And probably crocus is the other one I saw. But that was it so far. I love eating it right out of the ground. It never makes it into the house. I planted asparagus crowns last year, so they've been in that spot for 1 year. And so I'm letting them get established. I do want to eat at least one this year. That's okay, right? Anne likes radishes too. Just try one to start with. That's a good tip. DLR is experimenting with growing daikons inside right now. Wow. Carol says, you are fine. It's a brainstorming and learning sesh with many of our lives, and Shawnee is a natural teacher. Why, thank you. Duncan, again, I like to roast radish. There's a roast radisher. Thank you for answering questions, Jay, while you're here. Appreciate that. Mobius says, nope, I didn't get ahead of myself. Sugar regulation. Inulin slows down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream, helping to regulate blood sugar levels. Jay says radish relish is nice. Mobius, beneficial for people with diabetes or prediabetes. Mikado turnip is your favorite, says Howie. Barry, I love to eat raw radishes, but I have to put them in a stir fry. Fiber is good for us. DLR says to Mobius, Bowtie mentioned using sunchokes instead of potatoes due to blood sugar issues. I know that I wouldn't be able to eat the amount of sunchokes in the same proportion of potatoes, especially when your body has never had it before. You have to try small bites, let your body understand it, introduce it again, right? Carol's making fart jokes. Anne says to Barry, I cut them in small blocks and add the radish to my beef stew. It's lovely. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Our seeds falling out all over, or seed packets getting wet when they're not supposed to, right? Adam said, I forgot cannas are edible. I have them for show and tell. Jerusalem artichokes, on the other hand, are triple purpose. Aesthetic Aesthetic to the eye. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Aesthetic? Aesthetic to the eye, storage crop, and livestock feed. Yes, the livestock thing I forget about because I don't have any. 19 watching. Make sure you hit the thumbs up while you're here. Okay, fourfold weed suppression. We do have a reminder from Miss Sharon about our wonderful website, Shawneegrows. Help support the channel by checking out what we've got to offer over there. If you were talking about asparagus. You can't do asparagus, says Barry. Jay says a nice vegetable roast in the oven can include odd veggies. And as a friendly reminder, we do have the Learn As You Grow podcast available on YouTube channel under the podcast tab. I have it on Spotify. I have it on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, I think are all the ones. Florida says, yes, canna lily is chop and drop too. Adam, I believe it's a certain canna cultivar that's edible. Probably ends in edilus. I forget. Howie is on his way out. Thumbs up and share this awesome live stream. If you're still here, check out my tree. I have a mulberry tree. And I don't know if you can see the berries on it, but I ate one today and it was delicious. I'm worried about spilling dirt on the laptop. But I am growing a tree inside from a cutting I took off a tree that it was on someone else's property that got damaged. And I'm very proud of that. Yes, have a good night. DLR, what is this crowd too mature for the occasional fart joke? We've been just gonna keep reading. Of course you can have the jokes. I might not always put them on screen. Oh, good, you saw it. Yes, thank you. I'm pretty proud of it. Mulberry, yep. Yep, add it to your notes. I think there might be a dwarf mulberry, and this is the one I know that can survive my area, and I don't have a spot to plant it yet, hence in pot container situation. Thank you, Miss Sharon, for sharing out all the connections for the podcast. I appreciate the time spent doing that. Carol says, I hope not. My 58-year-old husband still occasionally reminds me of an 8th grader. To DLR. Okay, what's our next vegetable? Parsnip root. I think we've seen this one. Is it a grow or forget? And how would you... Well, it looks like I have more links than the last couple ones. Let me load these up here. I was going to try and figure out how to get the acceptable music to play in the live stream when we have these quiet moments, but that's complicated. We're not going to do that. You just have to deal with the silence. Okay. There we go. Parsnip root, harvested after the first frost for the sugary candy flavor. You can have it roasted or mashed. Grow parsnip, says Jay. Oh, you had a mulberry as a bonsai? No way. It gave me fruit all the time before it died. Oh, it died. That's a bummer. Can someone help CR with the answer? When I looked at the seed growing stuff, it didn't give me that. And I don't, if you guys can look it up and provide it in the chat, help each other out, please. Let's see. There are a ton of mulberries. My cuttings would probably grow up there too. Have to double check mulberries ever part useful. Very into berries. Leave the quiet moment quiet. Oh, thank you, Jay. Thank you. Unfortunately, parsnip is a forget. Too finicky to grow, and other easy to grow vegetables can take its place, like the daikon or sunchoke. All right, what else? Any other opinions? Mother Earth Garden Club, hey! Welcome. Good to see you. Are you getting ice? Or is it just rain? I'm getting rain still. It's 36 here right now. Mobius says to DLR, I think the sunchoke for me, it sounds low maintenance. Carol says, I have 2 mulberry cultivars collecting more, except white. My cuttings fruit immediately. Okay, who else has an opinion about parsnips? Grow it or forget it. Jay says parsnips typically take 110 to 150 days from seed to harvest, depending on the variety, and are best harvested in late fall or early winter after a few, frosts, as this enhances their sweetness. It's still rain there. Okay. I'm thinking we might get snow dusting tomorrow, and then Wednesday they're looking at 1 inch of snow here. And I heard we were talking about the weather earlier in this, and you just got here, so I had to ask. There was places that were getting 1 inch of ice, and they were gonna have power outages. Mobius, DLR says to Mobius it would do great in a grow bag. So are parsnips the one where the leaves are pokey or poisonous? They must not be. They look like a carrot to me. You grew them last year for the first time in a cardboard box? That's amazing. For optimal parsnip growth, aim for a soil temperature of 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 to 18 degrees Celsius for germination, and 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit to 15 to 18 Celsius for growth to prevent bolting. Oh, these will bolt? Yeah, I suppose. And ensure a sweet, tender harvest. It is 71. What? Are you in the danger zone for severe weather tomorrow, Jean River Homestead? It's like Sunday and Monday there was severe storms watches. Carol is not bothering with parsnips. Barely buy them at the grocery store. Now, I know they do sell them at the store here. Mobius inspects her broke down cardboard box collection. Yes! Right? Grow in a box. The leaves. Oh, no, I don't want none of that. Stop doing that. There we go. What do we got? The leaves of cultivated parsnips are edible and can be cooked and eaten as a vegetable. Here is, you are in the, oh, are you storm ready there then? You're in the path? And you're in a tornado watch, Serena? Be safe. Get ready. Have your shoes where you need them. Okay, this is a recipe for creamy parsnip puree. How do you guys prepare your parsnips? Maybe you roast them. A lot of people either love it or hate it, it sounds like. Did that? Yeah, it worked. Okay. Let's check in to make sure. Okay, back to the... Okay, I shared the links. West Central Arkansas. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, it's they were saying that the way where the cold and the hot are for April's going to have tons of severe weather outbreaks. Mother Earth Garden Club, parsnips taste great in puree. I did see the parsnip joke you posted. Did you want me to put it on screen? I did see it. What's a barber's favorite vegetable? Parsnip. Carol says, yikes, hate how tornadoes and hurricanes love to hit at night. Parsnips went in stews over at Jay's kitchen. Parsnips pan roasted so they caramelize. Look at that word, caramelize a bit. DLR says to Carol, I've never bothered with a liner when I grow in a box. I just let the bottom of the box degrade through the season, then compost the rest when done. And then Central Oklahoma is Serena. A snippet of humor, says Yar. Okay, next crop. Let me load up the things here. Has anyone heard of this one? Hamburg rooted parsley. So Hamburg rooted parsley roots. You eat the roots and the green leaves. Lots of vitamin C and flavor. Earthy flavor for soups and stews. So it's a bigger root than your typical just growing parsley, as far as I understand. The Hamburg rooted, as far as having that root. Looking for information here. Nordic Himmler rooted parsley. See how it has a really long root? 7 to 8 inches, smooth white roots with dark green foliage. Roots have a distinct, fresh, nutty, and mild parsley flavor used in soups and stews. Can be stored like carrots. Sow in late spring for fall harvest. Sow in April through June for harvest, in October through February, 90 days to harvest. So has anyone grown this? I mean, I've grown parsley, but not the rooted parsley. And then this is parsley root fries with roasted tomato ketchup is the recipe I found for how to use the root that we just spoke of. So what do you guys think of that? Grow it or forget it? Your house is 101 years old, so you feel safe here. That's how I feel about my vehicle. Not that my vehicle is 101 years old. It just has a lot of metal and not plastic. Berry, I cannot comment on parsnips. Never had. CR, so again, temporary days of harvest. I have prepared material, but I don't have material prepared for all of that, and it's quicker for someone else while I read the chat to look it up. So I'm sorry I'm not Googling things for you, CR, and I didn't have it prepared, and I feel a little bad about that, but hey. Carol says, I have used our boxes to suppress our weeds and then mulch on top, so I like your approach better, DLR. Serena has a severe thunderstorm warning. Mushroom Mark, we tried parsnips, ended up feeding them to the compost. Well, and it's like, I think we had to add them with another vegetable to make them taste better. Because did we mash them? And we had to it was like a carrot, but not a carrot, because I love carrots. And we had to mix it with a potato to eat it. Do you remember if that was right? Yes, Duncan says, take care and stay safe, Serena. Carol says to CR, look up on Google, add it to the chat. Maybe I'm on my phone. Oh, you're on your phone. Yeah, it's so hard to do stuff on your phone. 22 watching. Thank you for being here, looking at our forgotten crops that people ate to survive. What's green and sings? Elvis parsley. DLR, never tried growing parsley or celery for the root. Yeah, I never realized there was a specific one that makes a root, and I kind of want to try it. Mother Earth Garden Club, never heard of it before. Oh, CR's on the phone too. Okay. We got to work together here. Jay says Hamburg rooted parsley equals parsley / turnip / parsnip. Okay. Tech Master, did I say hi to you? I don't think I have. Hello. Same, never tried them. It kind of makes you want to try it, right? Like just grow 1, grow 5, right? Mobius says, interesting, my parsley here is invasive, so I'm sure the rooted variety would do quite well. Well, I know regular parsley here survived the winter and bolted to make the flower and produce seed, and it's self-seeding itself. So I need to establish it at my offsite garden because I am trying to get out of my rental home situation. I have taken out all the gardens the best I can. I am finding some things pop up that I forgot, didn't know were there, didn't find them in the fall. And then obviously I'm going to have stuff that volunteers that I don't have the heart to rip out. So we're going to go with it because we haven't found a place to go to yet. So we're still going to be here. But I had to start preparing it to not have gardens in it, right? Carol says, darn, let me see if I can get it with my one finger texting. And I'm going to lie down for an hour or so, or else I'll fall asleep on the beach. Yes, please rest for your lovely event of beach barbecue. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to check out the replay, later on tonight for you, whenever you have time, they're available forever. DLR says, for now, Hamburg Parsley is I'll take your number and maybe I'll call next season. And CR is asking for everybody. I know, yes, so we all know. It's great. It's something we have to know as gardeners, right? That's why I'm like, I should have had that information in the banner. Oops. Life has been a little lifey lately. Jay says Hamburg rooted parsley, when grown from seed, typically takes 75 to 90 days to reach maturity. So that's doable for me, with the roots ready for harvest in late fall or early winter. And I imagine you could leave them in for a frost and pick them before the snow hits. And it was mashed with potatoes, says Mushroom Mark. Yeah, that's what I thought. Carol says parsnip seeds germinate best in soil temperatures between 50 and 70 and require about 100 to 120 days from planting to harvest. Parsnip? Oh yeah, parsnip. That's what we talked about. Doctored up. Yeah. For the Hamburg rooted parsley, aim for a soil temperature between 50 and 70 Fahrenheit or 10 Celsius and 21 Celsius for optimal germination and growth, with a preference for cooler temperatures. Parsley is good on all things. There's juices that had parsley in them in the summer. And Mother Earth Garden Club says, I would like to try it as well. Don't forget to write it down. I shared in the description links to where to buy the seeds for stuff. And during the live, I'm sharing the recipes because there is a character limit on descriptions and I maxed that out. Because that's who I am, maxing character descriptions out. Curious George DVD had a chef do parsnips and potato mash too. Yes, hello Tech Master. We were talking about weather as people were coming in, if you want to share your weather or anything. Barry says, I think I have parsnip seeds. If I'm not mistaken, Passamaquoddy sent them to me. Carol, I love parsley, but it always seems to look so meh here. Oh, yeah. In hot lava land. I know I have parsley, says Barry. Oh, Adam's on his phone as well. I wish my area could grow edible carrots, as they always turn out woody because of the heat. Gosh, I mean, there isn't a different timing of planting where they're maturing in a cooler month to alleviate that. Carrots are life here. I have to have you. There you are, Bowtie Life in the Garden. Just saying goodnight. It's good to see you. I was wondering what you're doing, if you had already went to bed. Or busy, you have a life and such outside of visiting YouTube live streams. But yeah, we're just talking about fun survival crops that fed the families in the Great Depression, and are they a grow it or forget it? And we're talking about where to get the seeds and how to eat them. So it's good to see you. Gene River Homestead, I planted cilantro many years ago, and it comes up every year since. It has self-sown itself. That's hard to say. Bye, says Jay. Tibor, hey! Busy wife tending, but we'll let it play for the numbers. Yes, thanks for the love. Bowtie, hey y'all, headed to bed, dead from a day of hard work. Yes, head to bed. I'm so glad you said hi, though. Thank you. Mobius says to Bowtie, be sure and practice hopping. Hopping? Is this a joke? I feel like it's an inside joke. Carol wants to know, Tibor, how are you doing with the storms? Yeah, we've been talking about the weather as we go here because it's all over the place. A wet vegetable is measured like diamonds. Carrot. Carol says, I love that. Hot lava land. But I think that's Hawaii. Yeah, that probably describes that much better. Tibor, sunshine storms are coming in on Sunday. Yes. Sunchokes, plant it and forget it until you need some. I love them. Yeah, that was plant number. We had rutabaga, mangle wurzel root, the giant beet, mostly grown for feeding your animals. Salsify, root vegetable, the black oyster, and then the Jerusalem artichoke we spoke about right after that. Winter radish, parsnip root, Hamburg rooted parsley, and now we're going into turnips. So as I prepare the slides here, the images, the info, talk amongst yourselves. Because I know you have opinions about turnips because we kind of heard them. Is it a grow it or forget it? And I might have to turn the heat down in my home because I'm getting a little hot. Unless is Mushroom Mark listening? Come downstairs. So I don't have to pause the show. If not, then I will do it. Gathering all of the information for your viewing pleasure. Okay, that was it. All right, turnip root, quick 6-week harvest, fresh or mashed, stores well, greens are edible, succession sow. I've seen turnips grown as a cover crop, and I'll be honest, it stinks like gas. We actually had someone call the gas company and report a gas leak, but all that happened. They actually called the gas company to report a gas leak, and we're like, no, no gas leak. It's just the cover crop that they worked into the soil, and it stinks. Oh, Bowtie, you know I can't turn you off. You want to listen as you fall asleep gently with your head against your pillow in the dark. Carol says, I know the pressure changes affect me, so thinking of you both to Tibor. Bowtie life in the garden. I'm a rabbit now. Oh, the hopping? Yeah. Is that temporary? Duncan says, praying no fires here. There's a lot of lightning. Oh no, ahead of the storms. That'll do it. That would start it. Thank you, CR. Good question. Carol says, we heard you use them as a starch. Bowtie life in the garden. Definitely multi-purpose. Turnips, ew. Which crop are we asking, CR? Turn up for the turnips. Grow it. We have a mixed bag here. We have some forget it, some grow it. A grow it for a cover crop, maybe. Yes, thank you for rescuing me, Mark. Turning the heat down. Bowtie says, yeah, Carol, it's an awesome survival crop. Sunchokes. Yeah, we were talking about lacto fermenting them. Bowtie life in the garden, and I shared a link for the recipe. It was in the live chat, which the replay will be available, but I don't think you can click. Well, yeah, you probably can click links in the replay. Turnip greens, says DLR, cooked southern style, like collards, with bacon and onions, are delicious. Bowtie life in the garden, and it is sunchokes or sunroot. I am on a mission to get rid of the name Jerusalem artichoke. It was a mistake. Yeah, I always hear it sunchokes. And then they're like, you mean the Jerusalem artichoke? Sunchokes. Oh no, tornadoes are coming. Be safe. Our property was hit by a tornado however many years ago that was. It was like the 4, EF4 or whatever. It was pretty serious. You can still see the trees that are affected by that, and it was many years ago. Carol says, indeed, DTG has a very funny story about roasting and eating them for the first time to Bowtie. Bowtie Life in the Garden, you're familiar with David the Good, right? Duncan, I like turnips raw or roasted. Serena, I planted turnip seeds, but they wouldn't turnip. They never germinated. I don't know what @B Gene means for CR. Mobius, I'm gonna try some mustard greens this year. Really? They make pretty yellow flowers. Yes, we need you to be safe, says Miss Sharon to Jean River Homestead. Bowtie Life in the Garden. I need a good April 1st video idea that includes someone being dressed up as a gardening rabbit. Mobius says Bowtie has a secret life as the Easter Bunny. So, Florida sunshine, turnips thrive in cool temperatures, typically needing 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 75 degrees Fahrenheit for growth, and are ready to harvest in about 30 to 55 days after planting. Jay Dixon comes in with turnips are a cool weather crop that thrive in temperatures between 50 and 75 or 10 to 24 Celsius and can tolerate light frost, even improving their flavor, but hard freezes will damage or kill them. Bowtie Life in the Garden, I have fermented sunchokes. I like those too. Hey, Beltloop, what are you doing here? Are you not live anymore? Good to see you. We're talking about some survival crops and stuff. And Mark has a request. Bacon is the favorite vegetable of his choice. Jay says turnips are typically ready for harvest in 40 to 50 days after planting, though smaller, faster maturing varieties can be ready in as little as 30 days. Deer also like turnips, and I like deer, says Duncan. Will they eat sunchokes, Duncan? You're in an after party. Oh, have fun in your after party. And thank you for having it running while I stretch here. We're going to keep going. I don't even think we're halfway through. I need to talk faster. Bowtie says, sun root is what the Native Americans called sunchokes. Well, I like sun root because the word choke freaks me out for food. Carol says, sauteed with garlic and eating a large portion first time around, it almost killed David the Good's insides. Radio Jonesy found his way over. Hello to you. How is your weather? We all have storms all over the place here. We're going through a survival crop list. Is it a grow it or a forget it? DTG is practically a neighbor. I've met him. You're lucky, Bowtie. That is pretty neat. Mobius says, I think all those greens, turnip, mustard, salsa fee, are survival foods, super healthy and good reminders for us. Yeah, I like the nutrition value of them. Barry says, our bad weather comes tomorrow and continues into Monday, and it's supposed to get a break Tuesday and then back to bad weather again. Yeah, Wednesday we're supposed to get an inch of snow, supposedly, I believe. It was 2011. No, I think it was 2010 because we got married in 2011. Nice try. Oh, ATB means all the best. Oh, look, I learned a new thingy. I'm not hip with all the stuff. Thank you, CR. Adam says you'll need to move to the West Coast. Earthquakes and minimal floods aren't nothing compared to tornadoes and hurricanes. I don't need to move nowhere. Carol says mustard's great cover crop to help kill off naughty nematode populations. Yes, love David the Good. He's been talking a lot about trees in his most recent videos. And Bowtie Life in the Garden repeats turnips. Ew. I think I will think on the bunny video idea, says Jay too. Bowtie. DLR Mobius. Mustard seeds make the most awesome condiment. I do make my own mustard so easy. Well, that is fantastic. Oh, what are we good griefing? DLR, sunchokes are tubers below ground, so deer don't eat them. Well, like, they don't eat the flowers. Sunchokes flowers smell like cocoa? And it tasted like grass. Carol says to Adam, droughts and huge forest fires and those earthquakes can just crack a crevice in the earth and swallow everything. I'm good in my CBS block home. Deer like the turnip tops. Carol says he lived very close to my old place, but it was before I knew about him. You were close. You get points for that. Yes, Mark. Jay says to Boat I live in the garden. How about a bunny looking into the garden for carrots and discovering it was an April Fool's joke? Deer hoof the ground for stuff in the soil. Ah, okay, here we go. They dig up stuff. Came from the west, earthquakes or nothing. LA, California. All right, next crop. Someone was talking about this just a little bit ago. Collard greens. Let's see what I have for links. There's plenty of ways to prepare this. This is not something I've grown a lot of. Where I see collard greens here is used as a cover crop, honestly. I would like to practice growing it and eating it. It's definitely not something that's served for anywhere I've had family gatherings of food in Minnesota, where I think other areas of family gathering would include collards. So the most popular one, or a strong one, I think this is the one that Garden Like a Viking might have suggested, but I'm not sure. I know he has a cooking video, I'm pretty sure, on collards. Collard greens keep producing large, thick leaves even in the summer. They get sweet after a frost. Pick them from the outside as new growth from the center. Can salted to preserve. They have calcium and vitamin C. So who would grow collards and who would forget them? Georgia Southern or Creole is this one. Big leaves. How do you guys cook them, eat them? They're 1880s. We had collards. 75 to 85 days to maturity. Sprouts in 4 to 7 days. Ideal temperature 40 to 85 Fahrenheit. Frost hardy, yes. So we have smoky collard greens. Is that appetizing to anyone? I think the whole cooking the greens thing I'm very foreign to, and I have to get over that and try new things sometimes, right? And then this seems pretty popular. Barbecue black-eyed pea collard rolls. So there's that roll. And stuffed with, must be black-eyed peas and mushrooms and seasonings. And then you roll it. Yep, there it is. Is that appetizing to anyone? Get back to here. I thought this said tornado Sammys. No, not what that said. Okay, this is about mustard greens. We're gonna read that one. This one, waiting for find where I was at. Which mustard are getting the most seeds off for making your own? Good question. Mobius says to Bowtie, okay, now you are the garden bunny. Beltloop says, I'm looking forward to gardening, eating some great tomato sandwiches. Radio Jonesy's phone died. Now on the computer. Thanks for coming back around. Barry says, bah, I've survived a tornado June of 1990 right behind our house. I ain't scared. DLR says to Bowtie, I wonder if that's the damage I sometimes see in my onion garlic beds. Collards, grow them. Okay, there's a vote for grow them. They're delicious. Or grow them or forget them. Carol says, I lived in San Jose young, and my brother lives in Sonoma. It's the droughts and fires that will get you first. Mobius says to Carol, I'm not that far along. Grind mustard seeds to make mustard fermented, but this year I will grow mustard and see how it goes. Bowtie says, you would see the hoof prints, DLR. My squirrels leave single holes. Mother Earth Garden Club, collard green leaves cut into ribbons and then stewed in with a smoked turkey leg. Whoa. What else? We got any more ideas? Carol says, oh, so you're ordering your mustard seeds in bulk? To Mobius Tibor. I've watched does dig out potatoes. The ground doesn't stop foraging deer. Yeah, the deer will go in the ground to take food, right? Belt loop, I can hear the rain right now, and I'm hearing thunder. So if I lose internet, I'm sorry. We'll have to continue the crops list tomorrow. I do have a live stream prepped. You can hit the notify me on that one. For Sunday, we're going to try it at 8:30 Central Time, PM. Collards, ew, says Bowtie. Jay Dixon, collard green, 60 to 80 days to reach maturity from seed, but you can start harvesting leaves in any size, from microgreens to full-size leaves, and even harvest the entire plant. I grow them every year, says Mother Earth Garden Club. Chard, ew. DLR, I grow collards every year, along with kale. I'll eat kale. Lacinato kale, the dinosaur kale. Radish greens, always cooked with bacon and onions. What I saw was a cast iron pan on a grill. You heat up the collard greens, and I think you add some kind of soy sauce, maybe? Grilling the greens, I think, is the video from Garden Like a Viking. I think that was the recipe. That you might want to try, right? Yeah, this is where I thought it said tornado Sammy's. Great with mayo. It says tomato. But Swiss chard, ew. Spinach, meh. Nope, spinach is ew. Cooking greens, stir fry with the good oil and garlic and onions. Those aromatics aren't important. Jay says collard greens ideally between 60 and 70 or 15 to 21 for Celsius, but they can tolerate a range from 55 to 75, 13 to 24. They can also handle light frost as low as 26 Fahrenheit or -3 Celsius. And it's autumn where Radio Jonesy is, and you've gotten over 100 bell pepper starts. What? And now I've got over 100 bell pepper starts? Go figure. What? How do you have 100 bell pepper starts? You have 100 bell pepper baby plants? What? Homegrown tomatoes are amazing. Belt Loop, if you missed our live stream yesterday, I showed my tomatoes that I'm growing indoors. It's the dwarf micro orange hat to have tomatoes all year round. Adam says to Carol, I'm seriously thinking of moving to Florida, southern U.S., due to political views, not to mention the extended growing season. And Jay Dixon, I'm willing to try it. Oh, thunder. I'm willing to try anything. You love all greens, Jean River Homestead? DLR, I could go for some collards right now. I would love to try them as the wrapper of like a cabbage roll, right? Yeah. Serena's getting lightning. Yep, I am too. Black Eyed Peas, good band, says Radio Jonesy. Carol says North Cali is so different from Southern Cali. To Jane River Homestead, had another brother who got stuck in a town in North Cali till he fell ill with fibrosis of the lungs. But Loop, I don't think I will ever say I'm going to try anything. Too many things in life I would never do. Yes, good idea. Yes, stay safe. Brassica junacacia produces the brown mustard seeds. Deer with hoof out root crops. Yes. When did you write that? Yeah, it's storming right now. Belt loop. I think my wife has grown collards, but I don't know why. She doesn't cook them, and I won't eat them. It's a good cover crop. Just put it back into the soil, chop and drop. talking about our life experiences with natural disasters is a part of gardening because we have to watch the weather, right? Tibor, no, DLR says the Tibor, that's why I'm not a fan of deer. I don't care how cute they are. No sympathy even for Bambi. Betleaf says, but occasionally she eats some when we go out to eat. I see a message over here. It says from Jay, it may be a challenge to get all 25 survival crops today. Maybe split it in half for tomorrow. I know, it's like, okay, can I get them in 30 minutes? Hey, silly Lily, what are you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and all your snow. We've been talking about weather as we go. I'm in a thunderstorm right now. People are in ice storms. We have severe weather coming tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. We're talking about these crops. Lacinato kale. Yeah, I grow that. I like that very much compared to the other greens here. Yeah, we're going to do a live tomorrow night, 8:30. Come hang out. There's the message I saw over here. Bowtie needs to pass out and rest. Radio says, yeah, I seeded in spring and they never germinated, but now they're everywhere. No way! Oh my goodness. Black-eyed peas, they're easy to grow and I will eat them as well, so no need for collards. That might be on my list. Good night, all. It has been fun. Y'all have a blessed day from Bowtie. They're all from last year's plants. What are you going to do, Radio? You're going to start a greenhouse inside and have a pepper production all winter long, or what? All right. Oh, come on now. There we go. We talked about collard greens. We were seeing people mention Swiss chard in the chat, so we'll cover that as well. Look at what it looks like. How do you eat it? Is it a grow it or forget it? While I pull up the images and some recipes, maybe. Leaf and stem has a use, right? Grow it as a chop and drop, I guess, if anything. Feed it to something. Is that everybody? Yeah. Yes, yeah, we're going to be on number 11 next. Because we're having so much fun. Present, share screen, click the seed, get us in position. Swiss chard, leafy green that you cut and come again. Young leaves for fresh, large, older leaves for cooking. Char summon a cast iron over the fire. So it's pretty, right? Looks presentable, right? This is a Swiss chard salad, so you can eat it raw. You can ferment the stem, right? That looks appetizing. And you can saute it. Where am I? Eat your chard, says Jay. Oh, it went away. There, eat your chard. Swiss chard thrives in cool temperatures, ideally 50 to 75, 10 to 24 Celsius, tolerates light frost, making it suitable for early spring and late fall planting. Mother Earth Garden, I eat Swiss chard sauteed with butter. High in iron. Whoa, I should probably eat it because I am low in iron and I struggle with that very much. Grow it? Why not? Most colorful of all the greens. Yeah, I would like to grow it. I mean, you can even, I have a bunch of Swiss chard seeds for microgreen purposes, right? Tea is a good drink, Miss Sharon. Beans are coming up on the list for sure. So winter cabbage. Who's our cabbage eaters? What do you do with your cabbage? This is a specific type of cabbage that came up for the like survival crop, depression era variety. So what it is this one. Danish bullhead, right? Is that what it, boarhead? It's a long-term storage head, densely packed, 6 to 8 months storage, sweeter after a frost, has vitamin C. So how do you prepare your cabbage? Oh, we're juicing the chard. That's a good idea. Jewel-like varieties of Swiss chard. There's the juiced one I saw. That's a good idea. Chard is in the beet family. Most of all the other greens are in the brassica family. Ah. Duncan says, I will eat cabbage almost any way you cook it. I like adding raw cabbage, thinly sliced to salads. I like having, I see here, Mark says egg rolls. Yep, definitely. And an egg roll. And then what was the other way? Oh, it's like a cabbage steak. You cut like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch steak piece and you roast it in the oven and it tastes really good. This was used in soups a lot, of course, for the uses for cabbage. So that's one that we've heard of, right? We're trying to see if anyone's got ones that we haven't heard of, which we might have gone through all the rare ones already. But stay till the end and I will release the one that was banned and outlawed. And we'll talk about that. So, of course, you have your navy beans on the list, dried, your protein source. Navy is a smaller bean. It was on the list of ones they grew. It stores on the shelf, and it's a nitrogen fixer. We've talked a lot about that in different companion planting conversations. We have your Kentucky Wonder pole bean. Does anybody grow beans in the chat? Dried, for dried purposes? I grew beans for the first time last year, and I'll do it every year. It was easy and it was satisfying to have that food on the shelf in the winter, and I grew. It was amazing. Kentucky Wonder pole beans, 7 to 8 feet tall. Pick them so they will produce more. Pick them every day. Eat them as fresh green beans, and you can dry some for the winter, but it's mostly for that fresh eating purpose. So here is what we talked about with the navy beans. That's what they look like. Good for soups. And beans are the nitrogen fixer. This grows 2 feet tall. This is a bush bean that they're speaking about. Bush beans don't need trellises. And then your Kentucky Wonder pole bean. Pole needs trellis. 58 to 72 days. This one's Kentucky Wonder. People are familiar with those usually. Now this one, let's see if we surprise anybody with ground cherries. Tell me your experiences with ground cherries in the chat. I made jam with ground cherries this year. For like, if we're talking about recipes, you know. So it's a cherry tomato shaped fruit wrapped in a husk. It's ready to eat once they fall to the ground. Stores for months just in a bowl in a cool, dry place. I've made a jam with it. Your flavor profiles are pineapple, vanilla, and they self-seed themselves. So I'm hoping I get volunteers this year. The way I planted them was a seedling that I bought from the farmer's market. The seeds are very tiny. 65 days to harvest. It's one of those things you just need one or two of, I feel like, to get enough. So who grows ground cherries? Anybody? Mobius says I has Nanking cherries, 2 huge bushes. Duncan says not a fan of ground cherries. Jay says I love ground cherries. Mother Earth Garden Club, I had them as a kid, snuck into Auntie's garden, yum. Belt Loop, I don't think I've ever had ground cherries. It was something grown commonly before, and we had taken baskets of them to my husband's work, and people were like, what is this? And some of them were really interested in eating them. Ground cherries, nice mixed with other berries. Mobius is looking at the cherry bushes today, need to prune them back severely like tomorrow. Beltloop has had pawpaw trees. Oh, but you're not sure if they're alive. It's a neat plant, says Mushroom Mark. You want 12 to 20 ground cherry plants to get a good harvest? I had, I think, 4, and we had too many ground cherries because I thought my kids were going to use them as a garden snack treat. They didn't dig it at all. So that 12 to 20 plants, that would have been bushels of harvest. Nope. Silly Lily, I had Nanking cherry. They were nice. Jay, eat ground cherries when a golden yellow and very slight soft give with a small tomato. Yeah, if it still has any green to it, just let it sit. It's not ready yet, right? Of course, we have your field peas, the black-eyed peas, cowpeas. It's a legume, a nitrogen fixer, a protein. We talked about that earlier. It kind of goes hand in hand with some of the other things. They all go together, right? As you're thinking about this list, think about what they put on their table in June, what they put on their table in October, what they put on their table in January. Field corn for cornmeal, for porridge, to cornbread and mush. It's calorie crop. And then, of course, you got to have your storage onions, unless you're an onion hater. Is it a grow it or forget it? I love them for broth, for having flavor, for having aromatics when cooking a roast, to have all year round for maybe some medicinal properties, right? So Australian brown is one that is a storage onion that I have heard good things about, and I think that's one of the ones I'm growing this year, actually. 8 to 10 months of storage in the correct conditions. Yellow Globe is another one on the list, and then Dixondale Farms is a highly known onion start farm that ships to you, so you might want to check them out. So this next one, I wasn't sure what this is because I've never had it. So let's see if anyone in the chat has heard of this next forgotten vegetable. Cardoons! Cousin of the artichoke, edible stalks in the winter, perennial in some areas. You can have it baked, braised, or added to soups. Cynara cardunculus, popular in Europe, added to many dishes, gaining popularity in the US. 42 inches tall, thick, fleshy white stalk that is eaten when cooked. Kind of like a parsnip. Stalks are similar to artichokes. What do we think? Cardoons, grow it or forget it. Sprouts in, okay, no, full sun. Ideal temperature 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Frost hardy, yes. I don't know if I want to eat that, to be honest with you. Who has experience with cardoon? Onions keep you regular, says Radio Jonesy. DLR, oh here, I don't need to share that anymore. It's questionable whether onions are worth the space they require since they're inexpensive to buy. But I love onions and grow them each year. Yeah, if we're talking about like the Depression era, sure, yeah, grow them. If we're talking about 2025, is there a farm that grows them and you can outsource it that way and save the space, right? Or the headache if they're a little difficult, right? They're sunlight hour sensitive. Once the sunlight hours change at the summer solstice, they, for the northern hemisphere, they'll start putting on their bulb. Jay says grow onions to breathe on a coworker who is a cow worker. I thought I was going to say cow liquor. Mobius, my green onion from the grocery store is in the house and about to flower. Mother Earth Garden Club finished greenhouse, so now can start moving plants out as soon as the storms are gone. That's amazing. Anything Australian is good. Just saying, says Radio Jonesy. Mobius, no idea why, except I cut it back. Whatever the packet says, or Google it. Go to the seed place that you bought it, or the start place. I have no clue. Sweet candy onions sound like you have to eat it fresh, not a storage onion. Jay never tried cardoon, never heard or tasted cardoon before. DLR says. I have heard of it, never grown cardoon, says Carol. Silly Lily to DLR. Onions are incredibly good for your health. Well worth the effort. Nothing beats homegrown. We need a seed source for these 25 plant crops all packaged and ready to go. Yeah, because it's all the places I have in the description. It's not all the same. It's different. So that would be cool if it was like a box set, right? Like you could just get these in one shipping, one price. Here we go. Mushroom Mark says, my grandma might have grew it. It looked familiar. Really? That's interesting. I really don't think I'm putting it on my grow list, to be honest with you. We have something called skirt. Now this I think was talked about earlier. Let's see what this looks like. If it's the same thing of what we've already seen tonight in the show. Or if it's different. Skirt, sweet root, high sugar, perennial in some areas. Store in the ground and pick as you need. Romans brought it to the British Isles in medieval times. In 1677, English horticulturist John Worledge raved that it's the sweetest, whitest, and most pleasant of roots in his Systema Horticulture. Long before the arrival of the Andean potato, Irish Catholic monks cultivated the sweet parsnip and carrot relative. This is the skirt. The roots are sweet and lovely. After root harvest in late winter or early spring, you can divide each plant into 4 to 6 separate clumps and replant for the following year's harvest. Days to maturity 120 to 140. Seed in late winter or early spring in the greenhouse or cold frame or sunny window, and then transplant out after the frost. What do we know about skirt? Oh, come on. Siam cisarum? Oh, wow. That's the flower? That's tall. Put it on the edge somewhere, huh? Wow. Acacia family. So, let's see. Does this have any more? I mean, that's a big... It does remind me of carrot or parsley. Did it say how to use it? Did I read that part yet? Let's see here. Yeah, the whole recipe part of it. Water parsnip is another term, apparently. Okay, cooked in various ways: roasting, steaming, mashing. Nutritious vegetable rich in vitamins and minerals, making it a healthy addition to your diet, it says. Huh. Well, is it a grow it or forget it? What do we think? Belt loop's on his way out. Have a good night. Barry says, dang, that looks interesting. Oh, Adam, good night. It's time for dreaming for this year's garden to come. Yes, rest well. Yes, okay, great to see you, Shawneegrows. I'm going to head out. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend and have an awesome week. That's right, thank you. Never heard of skirt, says Jay. Barry's getting the rain that we just got tomorrow. You're gonna try it? You would try it? Well, Jay would try anything. If it was good enough for the Caesars, maybe I'm saying that wrong. Do you say it's Caesars? It's good enough for me. I'd grow it if I found tumors or seeds for it. Was that sold out? True Love Seeds was selling skirt. The link is in the description. Let me go. I already closed the tab, so let me go back and see if it says it's sold out or not. Oh, it does say sold out, but you can click here to be notified by email when it becomes available. And then, of course, you could do your own research of your own to see if you can find it more in a better place. Miss Sharon is a friendly reminder of likes, share, subscribe, ring the bell, and come back to comment. That's right. I appreciate you all being with me tonight talking about these survival crops. Sounds like a slang for scared. I ain't scared. That's funny. The next one is Good King Henry is a spring grain, is quick and the first to come up in the spring. Asparagus and spinach vines, perennial in some areas. I've heard of this, I think, in the UK area, if I remember right. I can't remember where she was, but never here. So that's number 20. We're almost to the end, and then we're going to talk about our bonus. So who has experience with Good King Henry? Well, that was weird. There we go. I was running into the thing here. Goosefoot. Lincolnshire spinach. Europe and United States. Chenopodium as quinoa and lamb's quarters, but is now considered more closely related to spinach in the genus Blitum. Cold stratification improves seed germination. It doesn't look very tasty, if I'm being honest about the way it looks. I just don't know about that one. This one sounds more exciting. The American groundnut superfood vine. You eat the tuber. It's a meat substitute, high in protein, survives drought and poor soil. Again, this is sold out on So True Seed, but I'm sure you could be notified. Apios americana, Indian groundnut, indigenous name Hopnis. From Canada to the Gulf, you can find it. Perennial from the pea family, produces both edible tubers and beans. Seeds are edible, but pods are fibrous. Groundnuts can be planted with potatoes in the springtime. The vines can extend up to 10 feet with purple-pink flowers resembling wisteria from July to September. The tubers vary in size from 1 to 8 centimeters. Steamed, roasted, boiled, mashed, dried, and ground into a thickening powder for recipes. It's sweeter than potatoes. 3 times the more protein than a standard potato. Wow. Here's the flowers. I can go like this instead. Look at that. For the vine. So we were talking about this earlier. Is this what you guys were thinking for American groundnut? Excuse. DLR says, I have seeds for Good King Henry, but I haven't grown them yet. DLR says, I'd try them. Grow them for the flowers. Groundnut sounds amazing, but I have to set some limits here, or else. Oh, pretty vine. What are the zones? Let's find out. So what I want to do is take maybe this word. American groundnut thrives in plant hardiness zones 4 through 9. Full sun. You could grow it in 3, I imagine. I don't know. What was the time for maturity? Rare vining tuber. I want to taste it. Anybody else want to taste it? Oh, wait, what? Does it take... That doesn't make any sense. If it can grow in zone 4 through 9, but it takes 2 years to mature to a sizable edible tuber crop? What is that? How do you... Okay, you can harvest the small tubers the first year. Oh, wait, do you, like, grow it and then replant those so then they get bigger for second year tubers? I bet you that's how it works. You plant them in the spring. Okay. Harvest in the fall after the vines have died back due to frost. Okay. I kind of want to grow those. Add it to the list. Jay, if a single seed supplier made a kit with a small amount of these 25 survival seeds, I would give it a go. Make it easy for us to try new old things. I agree. Contact a company and let's get them to do it. Now debating. Sounds hugely versatile. I want to try it. I don't know if it causes any kind of indigestion or anything. Let's see what we got next. These next ones, I bet you've all heard of. Lightning round. Here we go. Runner beans. Fresh snap bean in the summer and dried beans in the winter, tolerant to heat of the summer. Privacy fensive planted on the edge of the property. Dandelion. Wild green. Young leaves for salad. Older leaves for cooked. You use the older leaves if you're going to cook them, and you use the young leaves to eat in a salad. The flowers are great for wine or mead, and then those roots are roasted and ground for tea. Dandelion tea is one of my favorites. I love them. I'm actually out of them at the moment, so I need more. Lamb's quarters are iron rich, which I didn't know until I did this research. And again, like I said earlier, I have a deficiency in iron, and lamb's quarter grows as a weed here. It's drought tolerant. I imagine I have seeds and pictures of these, but those are pretty common. Oh, this one the next one. We're almost to the end of the list, and then I'm going to talk about that bonus crop that they made illegal. And then sea kale is this last one. So that I'll show a picture of. Because I was like, what is sea kale? My little Minnesota garden doesn't know what that is. Right? Coastal plant, perennial, salty, sandy soils it grows in, apparently. You guys know what this is? Sea kale? Has massive edible leaves, broccoli tops, has an ancient feel. It's a perennial in some places. Once established, it's a very reliable plant in the garden, doesn't tend to run or spread, and can be grown out from root fragments or seed to expand your plants. Sandy rocky beaches in northern Scotland. Zone 5. Okay. Yeah, it's not screaming eat me to me, right? So what crops do we see today for a survival list? Of course, we have to also mention those staple grains and legumes in the Depression. If you're coming here at the end or the middle, we actually showed images or black and white photos of folks in the 1930s and what their gardens looked like, what their clothing and tools looked like. So catch the replay to see all of that wonderfulness. Corn, wheat, oats, dry beans, black-eyed peas, root vegetables, potatoes, sweet potatoes, turnips, rutabagas, parsnips. We have your leafy greens and brassicas, cabbage, collards, mustard, kale, hardy fruits and perennials. We have to have our fruit trees, right? Apples, pears, your blackberry canes, elderberry bushes, other essentials like peanuts, sorghum for syrup and grain, your squash, like we saw in those pictures. Guess that squash. What squash is she holding next to her grandkid? Here, maple syrup. We have maple trees everywhere, right? And reminder that almost all farm families raised large gardens with vegetables and canned fruit from their orchards. They had milk and cream from their dairy cattle. Maybe they even had it from goats or sheep. Chickens supplied meat and eggs. They bought flour and sugar in 50-pound sacks and baked their own bread. In some families, the farm wife made clothing out of the cloth from flour and feed sacks. Now, one forgotten survival crop that was banned, but people secretly kept growing, was hemp, cannabis sativa. Who guessed that one? In the 1930s, hemp was widely grown for fiber, rope, and food, the hemp seeds. However, that Tax Act in 1937 lumped hemp in with that plant and effectively banned the production. But despite this, farmers secretly grew it, especially during World War II when the U.S. government temporarily encouraged hemp cultivation for war materials. The Hemp for Victory campaign, you can look into that. Hemp was highly resilient, drought tolerant, and nutritious. The hemp seeds are packed with protein and healthy fats. It was used for food, oil, textiles, clothing, and even medicine. Now, something that we hear about right now, I feel like in the health food niche, is hemp hearts. So make sure if you like what you see, you don't forget to subscribe for more gardening chats. Our description tonight is going to have links to buy all of these interesting crops. Now, a lot of them are going to be sold out, but you can maybe get on a mailing list, email list of notifying when they come into season for shipping. We are going to do a live Sunday night tomorrow at 8:30, and I think we're going to play games if it all works out. Now, sometimes you think it's going to work out and it doesn't, and then we'll just chit chat. But I do have the opportunity and time and space to go live tomorrow night. I have the live created, so you can click the notify me button. So let's hop back into the chat side. Yes, I was trying to be careful. Thank you, Jay. There's many stories and people, and I don't want to stir the dust with the people, and people still grow that one winky face. Mother Earth Garden Club Arona berries. I make jam with blueberry and strawberry. Mobius, at least flour sack kitchen towels. That's right. CR Tibor Penny Royal grows in the same soil as dandelions. Silly Lily says, we'll do a rewatch. You always have a great presentation on your podcast. Oh, thank you so much. We're going to meet somebody. I'll have to go. I'm going the opposite of, I'm going backwards. Let's go to the normal way here. Lamb's quarter grows as a weed here. Yeah. Lamb's quarters are a weed near me too, and haven't tasted them. Well, give them a try. Dandelions are definitely fantastic in the spring. Mobius, I am seriously going to do more plant identification this spring, summer. Amazing stuff keeps showing up. Yes. Right? No, I didn't see that word, pennyroyal, for the list. So it's like, I mean, we could be here all night probably talking about cool, forgotten, beneficial, nutritious. Is it a. Oh, wait, that's a song. Folk remedy. Toxic to the liver. Well, I'm sure you have to have it in high amounts. Culinary herb. Has a purple flower. Is it in the thistle family? Let's see. Mosquito plant, pudding grass. Lamaci, native to Europe. They have a strong fragrance similar to spearmint. The tea has been used for cold relief, fevers, coughs, indigestion, liver and kidney problems, and headaches in small doses. It's in the mint family, maybe? Yeah, it's in the mint family, so no wonder. Did you say it's like a weed? Let's see here. It was Tibor. Or maybe I read it backwards on the other way. J. Dixon, sea kale. I am thousands of kilometers from oceans not known here. Yeah, same. I'm not near an ocean. Barry says, I have heard about sea kale but never seen it in person. Neither have I. Dandelion jelly. That's right. The animals get the fruit before you do. Mobius says, and those towels are very handy around the kitchen for cheese making and various food preservation methods. Remember to hit the thumbs up. Okay, see you all next time from Radio Jonesy. Yeah, the hemp hearts. I have them. For granola, I've seen them in, and you're supposed to put them in smoothies too, I think. Thanks to all support other gardening educators. Yeah, I'd kind of like to do a live stream where we just flip through maybe some up and coming gardening channels that have low sub counts, but I don't have a list compiled of who we would talk about or show. You've made it the whole time. Did you get your chore done, Mark? Okay, take care all. Okay, all take care. Yeah, CR. There we go. Adam, I'm secretly still here. Hemp cannabis is a trade secret to this nation's success. Good night. God bless you all from Duncan. On a salad. Yes, that was the other way. Miss Sharon, thank you all for joining us in chat. Yes, it was fantastic. Have a blessed night. See you all tomorrow. Barry says, trust me, Shawnee, I saw a video this morning that possibly could get the guy in trouble and hope not. He did his best not to divulge too much. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what it said. It was a mint. Fox at Outdoors, you're here for the end of the show, getting here as my time slot is over for the night. Yes, that's right. You go live on Saturday nights. Check out the replay for all the fun things we talked about. Carol has a reminder for everyone. Shawneegrows, is still working on watch hours. I would like to get to monetization land, so share it out, play the playlists. Nettles are fantastic. I take a nettle tincture every day, and I have a nettle tea that I take with a mix of many other plants and flowers during my winter week each month. So it's a Silly Lily says nice things about the stinging nettles. Here we go. Tibor. Yeah, it's a ground cover, a lot like clover. Okay. Okay. It grows wild. I imagine if it's yes, right? I bet, Mobius. I bet. For sure. I bet. You're 97% done, or you have 97% left. So the 25 survival crop list did not list flowers. The list came from Depression times. And so if you have a Depression era edible flower list, then we can talk about it. But I mean, I already went 2 hours on 25 crops. So I could go get it and read it to you. I have two of them. I have one that's just nettle, and I have one that's mixed. So, oh, thanks, Mark. Give me a minute and I'll answer this. I just need the screen. Okay. The nettle tincture is for inflammation and antioxidant support. The mixed one is lady's mantle, calendula, raspberry leaves, burdock root, rose petal. Oh, I thought does this not have nettle in it? My tea has nettle. I didn't grab that. There's a tea I have too. And so this is for like hormonal support, health for women. I stopped taking a certain medication, and so this is supposed to help balance my hormones out. And then the tea has similar, it's stinging nettle, lady's mantle. I think it has rose petals in it, raspberry leaves. I think burdock root is in it. The tea that I take during my winter week. So, DLR says, thanks for all the ideas and fun chat, everyone. Hope to see you all again soon. Mobius says, very kind. I have made tinctures and am this year looking at my new nettle seedlings. Happy little things. I purchased these from an indigenous woman who has a store that ships across the states. Lakota made. She actually has a PBS special interview. I shared it on my posts, and the link to her website to buy things was on that post. And I love their store very much. And she has a very good message. And it's a family ran the entire operation. It's amazing. Slay Lily says, excuse me, stinging nettle is the one plant you want if you're ever on a deserted island. Very nutritious. The Amish repurpose windows and wood, build drying stations for drying fruits, vegetables, and herbs during the peak harvest season to use during winter. Raspberry leaves not well known, but helpful hormonally, I believe. Yes. Jack Beanstalk, Silly Lily, hello. I was out for a minute. All right. I have to call it, y'all. I have to call it. So we have talked about all of the things. You guys know the drill. Grow every day in every way and learn as you grow.